Well, hi, Stephanie. It's good seeing you.
Nice seeing you as well.
Got a couple questions for you. First, how do you define cyber resilience for your organization, and where are you going evolving over time?
Well, cyber resiliency for my team is a little bit different from a standpoint of we have to do resiliency not just for public cloud like an application would, but also our private cloud environments. If you think about it from a private cloud perspective, it's a lot more of a shared responsibility and a greater level of responsibility. The great thing is we've had a strong partnership with our corporate security group and network teams to ensure that every aspect of our platforms are secure and resilient. And I say both of those words because it's a little bit different. Over the last few years, as you probably know, we've really seen a shift from being just a secure at the network side and keeping people out and the physical layers of the environment to also how do we provide an overall platform resiliency. In the past, there was a consideration that there was network perimeter and we just keep everybody out. But we really had to shift that to now being a zero trust, in which case we don't trust anybody. And that pushes that responsibility, not just us as a platform team, but also pushes it down to the networks and the application teams themselves. So teaching the other application teams what this means for them and helping make that easy for them has been our number one priority.
So, what core principles are shaping your resilience and recovery strategy?
Well, as we mentioned before, I think establishing that zero trust and multi-layered resilience strategy is critical on a platform layer. We have to have that across the entire platform. And it's not just the sole responsibility of security anymore. It's a shared responsibility across the entire organization. Resiliency needs to be factored in at everything we do, from the infrastructure, the network, and the application development organization. Security really has to be part of a first-class citizen in what we build. I think this gets down into three core principles that most teams can follow, right? You build resiliency in everything you do. That's the secure and protect. You test recovery and then learn from that. And they do this in a culture where there's accountability and transparency across the teams. That's the only way you're going to have that resiliency.
Many times when I talk to customers, they talk about being prepared for large-scale disruptions. How are you preparing your company for large-scale disruptions such as a cyber attack or just broad operational risk?
I think it's really important to understand that it's not a one-time event, but this is really a continuous process to ensuring that we're prepared. We start with our infrastructure and making sure it's hardened, but vulnerability and patch management is critical. And how do we automate those areas? And then lastly, continuing improvements to our zero trust architecture so it's simple for the application teams are some of the areas my teams focus on directly. But in addition to that, we partner with our security and our reliability organization to really focus on that testing, recovery, and learning. Our RE team does a regular disruption test in which where we look for weaknesses and ensuring that teams can remediate those weaknesses, either technical or process. And we make sure that we have that communication go across both our public and our private environments. And it's really important that we almost gamify it to make sure we're there.
So when you think about new innovative approaches, when you think about trying to strengthen your resilience, what are you looking for? What's looking ahead of you?
Yeah, as we've been talking about, we've been doing a lot of automation and making sure that we've got automated models there, right? But now with AI, and we look into our AI ops strategy, it's how can we figure out what's happening ahead of time, right? We have a lot of logs that we go through and come through from an observability perspective. But if we can use AI to helpfully identify potential incidents sooner rather than later, it just means we're able to recover faster. Secondarily, we take that learning and we try to figure out how we can identify the issue and then self-remediate it. Leveraging AI to automated responses is going to help all of our teams. And it's something I would recommend that any team can do right now.
Well, it's clear you have a lot of experience in this area. What guidance or suggestions would you give to other executives as they think about modernizing their resiliency strategy?
Sure, there's probably 4 areas I would focus in on, right? Making sure security is a first-class citizen within your culture. It needs to show up right there with every other developer. You need to also shift away from prevent and protect to a resist and recover mindset. And then from a technical perspective, embrace zero trust. This way, it's not your fault that you don't trust anybody, but that way you protect all the way through. And then most critical is having that blameless culture. You need to be able to share the learnings across all of the teams and be able to talk about it in order to be truly resilient.
Stephanie, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you, Wendy.